Okay. Hello and welcome to part 2 of my Let's Play of Disco Elysium. Or Disco Elysium, as I heard it pronounced the other day. In like a trailer for the game. I don't know if that's just a how you want to pronounce it kind of thing. I actually kind of want to know, like, where are these developers from? I'm trying to figure out, like... Uh... Yeah, Estonia. Okay. Huh. Apparently this game was written by a novelist. Robert Kurvitz. Interesting. Oh, anyway. Alright. Let's load our last manual save and check out this body. I believe that's where we were yesterday. We had talked to Kuno, the punk-ass kid, throwing rocks at the body. Winch mechanism has been oxidizing from here. Someone is trying to grow herbs in this. Oh, what kind of herb? This kid's ladder is rickety but still climbable. Yeah, Kuno, fucking up. The Hanged Man. The corpse looks at you with bulging white eyes. The face around them does not look human. It's swollen and ready to burst. His lips are fish-like and hung like a ball gag in. You seem to be holding your breath. Look down. A cargo belt twists his neck at an unnatural angle. The body below appears stiff. It's letting out an ungodly rot. The smell seeps in even through clenched nostrils. God, what is this? Why is it so bad? Endurance legendary, very low. Go of your throat. God, what is that? Why is it so bad? Active decay. The lieutenant raises a white piece of linen to his nose. It's okay to throw up, officer. No one is judging. He's about to blow. The cop's gonna blow, Kuno. Let go of your nose without throwing up. Oof. Smell is repulsive. It pushes in from your mouth, more instant and more familiar than anything you'd expected, more fever than odor. It fills your mind, flushing you from within. Try to walk away. Ugh. Too late. It's impossible to keep it in. Your body curls and pushes it out, burst by burst. Ugh. Until a pool of vomit lies under your feet and your throat stings from the stomach acid. Be real. I'm sorry. It's okay. Happens to everyone. The lieutenant hands you white hank. Keep it up. Keep it. Thanks. Wipe your mouth. The hangover is clearly making this worse for you. You could use some ammonia to clear your head. Think ammonia would help? If you can handle the headache, nods. Some officers use it to deal with cadaverine odor. But not you. I can't handle the headache. It's more likely he can handle the smell, unlike you. Okay, where do we get ammonia from? That young woman, the gardener, mentioned salts for the smell. Nods toward the plaza. If she doesn't have any, there might be some in It's stored by tutorial agent. Having the ammonia is a modifier to the check. Modifiers make checks easy and allow you to try them. Oh, okay. Yeah, so white. We can retry it again. Put skills into endurance to open this white check. Okay. So we either have to level this up to go again or get one of these modifiers. Okay. Turn away. Ladders for kids, it wouldn't hold the weight of a grown man. Suggestion. Hey, so we've been monitoring you internally, and now we know your capo type. Wait, there are capo types? Yes. Guess what's yours? Cool cop? No, you're the sorry cop. The cop who's sorriest. Let's make it official then, shall we? Huge lack of it. Okay, but what are the other capo types? Oh, you know, Apocalypse, Superstellar, the Advanced Interesting Cop, Liquid Shadow Cop, but you're too sorry to say those. So, here we go. Won't the other capo types be jealous? What? Jealous of the sorry cop? I think they'll be fine, don't worry. They'll, uh, they'll be super, super fine. It'll be totally okay. You can dual capo type from sorry to any. You know, I'm actually not sorry. I changed my mind. No, you don't. Come on, you'll be back to saying sorry in 2 minutes. Stop wasting time and begin the repentance. Okay, sure, let's see what this is. I'm sorry, opt in. Thought gained, rigorous self-critique. Of course you are, it's okay. See if you can get something out of this. Like, info, or maybe every time you say you're sorry, you get $1,000,000? That won't happen. Oh, okay, I need to interface with these. So this is the thought cabinet. Let's rewind. Let's trace your drunken steps back home. Jump across the raised channel bridge southwest of here. Fall over. Get up. Get off the asphalt in 20 minutes. Shuffle your feet through the courtyards, carrying little children. Go under a great raised motor track, the 8 by 81, until you reach Le Domaine Imminent in North Jamrock. The streets are frozen this time of year, caked with ice. Walk down Main to Perdition. There's a side alley there, and your footprints. +1 to encyclopedia. Temporary research bonus. This one just has like a embarrassment to the party. You're one sorry piece of shit. A cop penitent, a flagellant cop monk. This is not the right line of work for you. You should be groveling at the feet of a feudal lord, providing lurid evidence against yourself at a Mazovian show trial, or ripping the flesh from your back with a cat of 9 tails. Whatever made you this way, you can be damn sure it was your own fault. Do it. Really criticize yourself. Who knows, you might uncover something of importance from your guilt-ridden past. -1 to authority. Does that, like, do anything? Let's try start by doing this. lonesome long way home. Internalized. 100%. And does it cost skill point? That guess I'll let that run. The one thing I learned about the game, just looking at some basic like how-tos on the game, is that time only advances in the game while we're having dialogue. So all of this is outside of time, and there's really not a great need to rush as far as the game. Okay, level up. We'll figure that out later. Another hint I heard is to like save your skill points up and then use them to pass skill checks that you can progress the story. So like you don't really need to. Oh, time advancing. Okay, 12:31. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it does. Only when we talk. Oh. Something we should probably do.
Hello again, officer. How are things?
Do you still have your salts? I think I could use some. Ampoule of ammonia. Sure, I am done with them. She takes a small capsule out of her breast pocket and go easy on that stuff. It gave me a terrible headache. I have to run. Oh, this is a quest item. You don't have to equip it to use having it in your hand. Okay. There he still is, looking right through white eyes. The body below is entirely dedicated to the corpse. Knitting it is all it does. Has ammonia. Still pretty. Might as well try it, right? We can always level up after. Oh. We did it! Hey! Awesome. Legendary success. You crack open the ammonia ampoule and breathe in. The odor of death is still stronger. It's a spell of the mind telling you to run, and your stomach is writhing itself in. With your eyes squinting, you stand in it. Do they always do that? They do after 7 days, yes. We're deep in decomposition. Step closer. The man before you is naked, but for a pair of underpants and emerald. His skin is greenish, marbled, with decaying veins and blotched by lividity. A fading web of tattoos covers his chest and shoulders. The cargo belt used to fasten him to the branch above appears industrial in strength. Inspect the boots. The material appears to be ceramic. Its clean white stands in stark contrast to the decaying flesh above the knee. The man wore thick polymer socks, probably for padding. A fine array of interlocking plates cover. Del- uh, Delicate and fragile, they feel alien to the world around you, out of place some. These are clearly not boots, they're armor, possibly of a larger set. These aren't just boots, are they? This is the armor he was stripped of. Indeed. With his notebook under his arm, the lieutenant crouches to protect the souls. Technically speaking, these are sabatons, not boots. What kind of armor is this exactly? Ceramic plate, zirconium dioxide most likely. This is where the make would be. Where? Under the heel, Fairweather. He turns the boot slightly. Fairweather model T500 VE. I'm guessing that's the vitreous enamel. This is advanced stuff. Where's the rest of it? Scavenged by the locals? He nods, piece by piece. He's been out here for 7 days. It would be odd if they didn't. We should keep a lookout for these pieces. The armor could yield information. He nods towards Kuno. Maybe he'll know something. Maybe he was just wearing these boots and there's no rest of the armor? The sabatons dangle off the man's decaying form, ageless and synthetic. The material looks out of place here. It is. It's expensive. The lieutenant draws a line in the condensation on the index finger. We've requested similar material for our tactical units. The constabularies deemed it too costly. In that time, we've lost 6 men to semi-automatics. How much are we talking about? For a full set, about 4 years of wages. For the northwest region of Revachol, an officer's average yearly income is $500. Adjusted. Wait, my yearly pay is 5,500 real? Not too much, yes. Sounds puny. No wonder I can't pay my hostel. I'm sorry. It's a sorry situation, I agree. How could this man afford such expensive hardware? That's for us to find out. My initial report on the area suggests he was a security guard for the harbor company, but that's just hearsay. Initial report? Just something I scraped together from my station. An area report on Martinet. I'm sure you did the same. He's not actually sure of that. He's just being tactful. These look pretty advanced for a security guard. I agree. The equipment is way beyond what a guard can afford. Knock on the boot. Small bell-like sound fills the air, like tapping on the side of a porcelain cup. Sounds fragile. It's anything but. This material is a kinetic redistributor. It spreads kinetic energy horizontally from plate to plate, dissipating it entirely. He points to the boot. See? Faint organic lines cover the plates where they separate into smaller ones. These plates then divide into smaller plates until there are hundreds of them altogether. Like whirls of floorboards. The design looks organic, influenced by highly resistant wood material, like lignum vitae and ebony, perhaps. What does this remind me of? If trees were made of porcelain, but their cross-section. Run your finger over the line. The smooth, glossy surface fractures ever more, peaking on the right sabaton. Notice. The whorls are in the shape of a letter and number combination. E50, 100, 1000. Point to it. Looks like there's a serial number on the right sabaton. Good. Can you read it to me? He tips the drying ballpoint of his pen on. He tips the drying ballpoint of his pen on the tongue. E50, 100, 1000. We have to make a number. We have a make and a number. That's something. We can use the radio in my Kanima when we're done. Either station can chase it. Pull the boot off. This feels dangerous. Are you sure? Better not even try. The Sabatons dangle off the decaying man's form, ageless and back off and look at the... Inspect the belt. The hangman's knot is pulled tight by the weight of the corpse below. Yellow, hard-edged polyester cuts into his neck. Above, a sliding buckle ties the belt to the branch. This is a steel-reinforced cargo lashing belt, big brother of the regular cargo belts. It's used for tying cargo under 6-rotor. Don't ask me how I know, but this is a lashing belt used for airlifting cargo. Airlifting? I thought it was used on lorries for strapping cargo to them. Apparently this is the reinforced kind for air transport. My brain tells me so. He nods. The local harbor uses 6 rotors to shuffle containers around. I get the sense they used whatever was on hand without paying much attention, not incriminating them. We're assuming dock workers from the harbor did it? I'm still approaching this as a lynching, yes, motivated by the ongoing strike. He politely raises an eyebrow. You? Yes, he agrees. The debrief we got from the Wild Pines appears to be solid too. The lynching is what this is. No. Feel like it was something else. What? I feel like it was something else. Yes, he covers his nose. It often is. This belt worries me. They wanted him to stay up there. The rope is reinforced with steel wiring. I was afraid it would be. He rises to inspect the noose. Thin steel wiring, parallel strands. This makes getting him down more problematic than I had assumed. How did they even get him up there? A noose is one of those things that's easier to use one way around. He points to the buckle tying the belt to the branch above. Did they climb up using the kid's ladder? Point to the one at the side of the tree. That ladder can't carry a grown man. I didn't see any splintering either. Did you? I think they lassoed the branch, then pulled on the belt to close the buckle. He makes a pulling motion. Back off and look at the corpse. Inspect the tattoos. An intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso, from the right shoulder to the solar plexus. Time they intersect, a small white star is formed in their crossing. Hundreds of fading asterisks fill his skin. Their concentration is highest around his heart. His corpse is marked by stars. What will mine be marked by? Alcohol and heartbreak. Is this a map of the night sky? Map of the stars? He turns around to breathe before inspecting it. I do see some similarity to astronomical charts. Great Century Messenian? Yeah. Great Century Messenian maybe, but this seems more particular, customized somehow. As if someone left out most of the night sky, filtering it personal choice. The principle of this filter remains unknown to you. The thought dissipates and you feel as though you were only half right. I'm missing something. So am I. A sudden ringing fills the air as the lieutenant pulls down the zipper of his orange jacket. He takes a thin piece of milled aluminum from his coat pocket and pulls it open. Sounds like a sword being unsheathed. A small lens appears, some sort of camera. What's that? A Trigot Sunshine Mini. Trigot is the world's leading manufacturer of intercommunication devices, like projectors. Camera before you look. Shit, Kuno, what the fuck is that? An instant color camera. He produces two metal-capped ampules and clicks them into place on the side of the apple. A thin slot finds. I have only 2 ampules, so nobody move. I don't want to waste one. Points the camera at the corpse peering into it. The lens needs. And oh. A sound, a shrill flash, followed by the breaking of a small ampule of glass. You see streams of color pour onto the thick, glossy piece of paper rolling. On it, a color-perfect copy of the dead man's tattooed chest. In case we need it, the lieutenant says, shakes the paper, letting it dry in the cold wind. Cool machine. Yes, he slides the camera closed and tucks it away on his belt. It is pretty cool, isn't it? What do we need this photo for? It contains insight into the victim's person. By his build, I'd say this was a man of physical violence. The story he wanted his body to tell was important to him. It is his letter to us. Someone should decipher it. We'll need to show it around. Can I have it? I should look at it later without the corpse smell. Sure, just don't lose it. He hands you the piece of rolled up photo paper. It's no larger than a pack of cigarettes. The glassy-eyed corpse looks by, his mouth mute and as colorful. Opportunity. Look him in the eye. His eyes are milky white and blind to the world, protruding comically from his sockets. There is no one home, just sub-aquatic terrors. Dark brown hair grows on his head. Face is ready to explode from the organic processes inside. The death's head grin has passed. What remains is an unrecognizable mess. Underneath the curdled meat, there is an expression, not carried on his features, but below, inside, an expression of pleasure. This man was experiencing joy at the moment of death. This man enjoyed the moment of death. Why do you think so? It's an intuition. Okay, the lieutenant marks something in his book. Tell me, who are you? Yes, I'm gone. Where have you gone? Into the wild pale yonder. Where's that? In the past, way out in the west. I can see you're gone, but who are you? I'm a joke. Look at me. You are now, but who were you when you were alive? A killer, a motherfucker, and a killer. I have another question. Go ahead, Kobo. What is happening? What do you mean? I'm talking to you. It's the power of your... Black frothy liquid starts bubbling on his imagination. Yeah, man, don't be crazy. This is our necktie. Inanimate objects and dead people can't really talk to you. Your wild imagination is doing. Ask some more of those questions you love so. He loves them. Why do I love questions so much? Because you're a Caparuni. Look at them all go. Do you want more questions? Give me a comical amount of questions. Coming right up, Caparuni Rooney. This is getting upbeat now. God. Is my name Rooney? Fuck no, you're no Rooney. Of course not. The name is Raphael Ambrosius Custo. Listen to yourself. You're not a Raphael anything. You're probably just Harry or something. That's right, Harry. Could it really be Harry? You can be anything you want to be, Brother Capo. Why do I feel like I've forgotten something terrible? Because you have. Who killed you? Love did me in, Brother Capo. It was love all along. Can you ask me a question? Sure, Labo. I can ask you a question. Why are you doing this? What? Looking at my face, motionless, staring into my eyes, standing here. Why are you investigating my murder? Maybe this will lead to something indescribable, unforeseen, miraculous? Ha! The clown lips on the corpse appear to smile. The face rotates before you slowly. Something is on its way, something hidden. It's coming, a miracle from the northwest, and it's almost here. You can feel it in the air on your hands. Cold spring air smoothing them over. I hate you. You stink and you're boring. Do I remind you of someone? A child born with Mahler's disease, harlequinism, grown up miraculous. A baby affected with harlequinism. You sure wriggled out of that one, Coppolini. Why were you feeling pleasure when you died? Maybe I was getting my rocks off? So you were feeling sexual arousal when they were hanging you? Do I look like an erotic auto-asphyxiation type to you? What is erotic auto-asphyxiation? Captain Copperdromo, I fear we are drifting away, fixating on sexuality again. Let's go with a simpler question. Enough. You can come back and look into his face anytime you want. Humor yourself with a harlequin. Ask me your little question, fresh in your memory. Create associations. Remind yourself of your mortality. Apolopo. Squint and take a step back. As you narrow your eyes, the monster before you blurs into a violent mess of green and pink. Only the lower extremities are pink with a dash of blue, his batted hands, thighs, and his neck just above the nude. The rest of the corpse appears dark green in the cold spring. Stop, relax your eyes. The cadaver slowly twists on the cargo belt. His corpse. Try that again. I'm squinting, Kim. Why am I doing it? How should I know why you're squinting, officer? His face and hands are pink, thighs too, the rest is greenish. Oh, he snorts. You're trying to assess lividity. Relax your eyes. The monster comes back into focus, an explosion of color coursing with dark marbled veins. His stomach appears pregnant with something, black liquid streaming down his thigh and onto his... So, what do you think? Something is coming out of him. A pool of blood and feces has eaten into the frozen mud below the man's feet. Purged liquid is dripping into drop by drop. The victim appears to have contained no more than half a kilogram of digestion at the time of death. The fuck he's saying? We got lucky. Did we? I don't feel lucky. He's beaten up. See the bruises? I do. Most of them are post-mortem, maybe even all of them. The delinquents have made our jobs harder with their little sport. Stop talking in riddles, coin slot. He means you fucked him up good, Kuno, the girl yells. Fucked him up brutal-like. I don't know what to think. What do you think? I think he was upright immediately after death. Blood has gathered in his hands and neck, points to his fatted chin. The noose acted like a tourniquet, keeping the blood in his head. The hypostasis here is in tune with a hanging. That's what I think. Could it still be he was moved after death? There's always a chance. We should check for marks on his neck to see if they're in tune with the belt. We'll have to get him down first. I think he's dead. I agree. Personality is no longer a part of... Totally dead. The world no longer stores his personality in its composite. There was a time for that, and it was 7 days ago. He nods in agreement with your advanced piece of conceptualization. Having mulled it over, the lieutenant says, "That sounds about right, yes." So how do we get him down? He stops to think, then checks his notes. "Are you sure we finished the preliminary examination? Ever? We might miss some things when we're down." Step back and have another. I have something I need to know, Corpse Man. Yup, the preliminary examination is done. Let's get him down from there. The steel reinforced belt presents a unique challenge. I bought chain cutters, but I don't see a good angled approach to the belt. The cadaver is a good 1.2 meters up. Neither of us can reach the belt without assistance. Even if we do, there's the question of cutting the airship strength material. We could saw the branch. Climb up there and saw the branch? Yeah, it seems dangerous. There has to be a less risky way, with less falling down off trees. Maybe we could shoot him down? Yeah, the enthusiasm is unrestrained. Bang, bang time, pigs. Shoot his head off. The lieutenant remains unaffected. How? Just shoot the belt. The bullet will break it. It absolutely will not, officer. That's not how physics work. It will maybe cut one thread loose. Yeah, now we're talking. Entertain the Kuno with some shit. They'll miss. The pigs will miss, Kuno. Silence. With his elbow sharp, the lieutenant unzips his jacket. Produces a lightweight firearm. He drops a paper cartridge in the barrel, separates the scouring stick, and gives the cartridge 5 tucks. That's a Eagle A990 Armistice mass-produced muzzle loader for firearms. He steps back and assumes the Phallus test position, taking aim. The corner of his eye twitches on the... Easy does it, partner. He's gonna fucking mitt. The kid's voice is drowned out by a shrill blast that echoes off the walls of the surrounding tenements. A cloud of smoke slowly parts in the air as the lieutenant steps back and says to himself, "God damn it." He feels bad about it. About his eyes, mostly. Just having bad eyesight, probably from a young age. Whatever you do not console him. Fucking idiot. Malkupa asshole. Kuno coulda hit it, but then Kuno's not fucking handicapped, is he? What now? I have to say, it's beginning to look unlikely we can get down without assistance. Get him down without assistance. Maybe we can ask for help from the harbor. I was really hoping we wouldn't. The Union appears to be suspects in this case. It seems like a dangerous route to go down. Yeah, wait, let's reconsider. Can someone else do it? Someone else? He pauses. You mean like the police? I mean, someone who's below detective. Someone like a paid garbage man or a cleaning crew? I have bad news for you. That is a detective. I know it's hard, but I assure you the others won't come to help us. We have a growing sanitary concern. We have to get him down fast. Can I have the gun? I should try. It's bad as it is, us shooting firearms like punks. Pauses, then shrugs and proceeds to load the pistol. Go ahead, I'm not stopping you. Just don't lose it. Piece shines in his outstretched hand. They only have one gun. This is the sorriest pair of pigs Kuno's ever seen. The gun. Yeah, take it, you fucking... whatever. Take it and shoot yourself in the mouth. Feel the weight first. The cold piece of bakelite and gunmetal is surprisingly light. Your finger fits right through the guard, instinctively resting on the trigger. The fuck are you waiting for, Kuno? Tell him to shoot himself right in the mouth. Point the gun at the belt. The buckle comes into focus in your sights. You stand with your feet planted firmly on the ground and your left hand supporting your gun arm. Why don't you just shoot yourself in the fucking... in your... since they're censoring it, I'll censor it. In your blank mouth, she hisses. At least you won't miss. Close your left eye first. Your field of view narrows, the branch slowly moves, becoming entirely two-dimensional. The metal buckle glimmers, catching them. It still didn't help. Look, he's crying. You gonna cry now, you fucking Fagari? Pull the trigger. Wow. Ooh! A plume of smoke erupts from the barrel. Your hand goes numb from the explosion. With your ears still ringing, you lower the weapon to see what happened. You miss the belt, but hit the corpse straight in the chest. Bits of ribcage protrude from the skin. No blood, only a murky sludge dripping down his belly. Sudden stink makes your eyes water. Fuck. Oh my god, he's gonna fucking cry. I knew it. What a moku. There's something wrong with your weapon, Lieutenant. It keeps missing. The armistice is sufficiently precise, officer, especially at close range. He takes his sidearm from you. It's not the gun's fault you can't shoot. It's your pig hands. Pigs don't have hands. They have, like, fucking hooves or something. Kuno has hands. He displays his little fingers. They're pink. Kuno can shoot that shit down for you. That's preposterous. We're not giving you the gun, kid. That's preposterous, she whines mockingly. What are you, a fucking Earl? We still need to get him down somehow. His tone is growing tired now. The stench me. How? The bad way. The way I didn't want us to, he sighs. By asking the harbor for help, they have the tools and the men. If they put him up there, they can take him down too. How do we get inside the harbor? From the gates, by negotiating or fighting. I'm unenthusiastic about fighting. He looks around. Or we can try to find some secret third path. It's unlikely, though. But won't it be dangerous? Ask the suspects for help with the victim's body? To be indebted to Evrart Clare? Very much, yes. Which is why I would have preferred us to handle this ourselves. Clearly, we can't. Suck my dick, bitches. Who's Evrart Clare? The leader of the Union, a dangerous and corrupt man, from what I hear. You don't want to owe him much. Yeah, don't go being someone else's bitches. You're Kuno's bitches. Let's get it. Let's get to it, then. An off-key melody starts playing after ringing the doorbell, then a woman picks up the receiver. Kuno, please stop calling here. Grown-ups don't have time for your stupid games. This is the police. Please open the door. Oh, I'm sorry, officer. I thought you were... There's a spot of static and that overrides her words. But the doorbell is broken and the bookstore shouldn't even be on the list anymore, so I can't help you. Please don't call here again. Thanks. You hear static from the intercom speaker. It sounds as if someone has picked up the receiver but doesn't say anything. Hello, is anyone there? Yes, hello, this is Tricentennial Electrics. This is a woman's voice, crackling and fragile through the static. Have you come to place an order? She sounds almost antique, as if her voice was being played off an old wax cylinder. Her receiver must not be working properly. Hold on, Tricentennial Electrics? I thought I was calling Slipstream SC. My god. The lieutenant exchanges a look with you. Sorry? It's you. My god, I didn't think I would hear your voice again. It's a woman and she knows you. Your heart beats faster. No, something's wrong here. Are you sure she's talking to you? Who are you? Where are you? Michelle. Just please. She stops and you can hear her breathe heavily, her breath distorted by ancient static. Why did you even call? I don't understand. You've been gone for months. It sounds like she's shaking. I thought you didn't care. Hold on, what's going on? What did I do? Ever since I came to work here, it's been different, as if my mind's been wiped clean. A spot of static overrides her words, and she speaks again. It sounds like she's submerged. It's so nice. It's so nice to be able to finally forget. Forget about what? She sounds like she's about to cry. Hello? She doesn't answer. You said it was nice. What's so nice about forgetting? Silence. The only thing you can hear now is the static and waves washing ashore on the bay. What just happened? Another seagull passes by. It's getting cold standing here, staring at the silent call box. I don't know what happened either. The lieutenant inspects the doorbell. We should probably stop playing with this. Alright, it's a goodbye then. Hang up the call. Oh, I know something we can do. That's 28%. Okay, let's try this other. Silence. This button looks new, but someone has removed the name card. Nothing happens when you try to ring it. This button looks new. It's probably not connected yet. He takes a step back, inspecting the other. What is this, 28% for volition? I want to test something. Don't we have something that's making volition go down? Why is it low? Oh, it's based on morale. Interesting. This post-lit Avatar mail collection box has been heavily vandalized with closer inspection reveals 2 bullet holes in the Good mail delivery box. At the box. Box seems happy. Eat shit, pig. Fucked by the coon and Saint G with a crown have been scribbled on it. Jenny is a whore and face set. Been there. Been there. Killed morale. The mail collection box seems cathartic. Thankful even. So do you. Shudder. Then you swallow. Book has a rose of Nick. Book appears to be erotica, but without actual erotica. On the cover stands a very muscular. Book is about pate. This book, you don't really understand what it's about, nor does it important. A book about Voyager. Yep. It's freedom. Book about the future. The government reads your mind.
Hello, sir. Step right in. The store is open.
A young girl with chubby red cheeks waves at you. Nose is also red. Hi.
Are you interested in a new and exciting book?
She stomps her feet to feel warmer. What kind of store is this anyway?
It's a bookstore, sir. We sell books, postcards, and some board games. It's called Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold your horses, little girl. Look, what's up? Don't be ridiculous. I know all these. You're fooling nobody. I said I know all these things, and I do, goddammit.
Sir, are you okay? You've been standing here silently for a while now.
Is it okay if I ask you some questions?
Okay, sir. I'll try to answer any questions you have. I hope they're about books.
What's your name? My name is Annette, sir. My mom, her name is Lesance. She owns the store. She's inside minding the We're organizing the stock. The girl gazes at the window, then suddenly jolts, her eyes wide as if calling something. Feel free to step in and browse our wares. And you're standing out here in the cold because... I'm signaling that the store is open, she nods eagerly. Otherwise people might not know. They'd miss out on the crime, romance, and biographies of famous people. A sudden gush of wind turns the pages of the books on the counter. She covers her face, smiling, but she... You're cold. Can I help in some way? Kind of you to offer, sir. She doesn't know what else to say. What could you do to help her anyway? I should have a word with the store owner, maybe? Oh, no, sir. I'm happy to help Mom by luring in customers. She stands upright and smiles a little, like a little soldier. Besides, I have some hot juice in my vacuum bottle to keep warm. Shouldn't you be at school or something? I do my studies at home at the moment. I have to help Mom and keep this place running. Isn't going to... What is school, anyway? Isn't going to school more important than this? Mom says it's necessary to do both because it builds character. Mom says a proper worker is dutify. That's how you get ahead in life. You succeed. How's the business going? Mom says it's peachy. She was a little afraid at first, but there's talk about this house being... She looks over her shoulder. Cursed. Behind her, the window has been boarded up. You sense the boards creaking, twisting first, and some kind of doubt in her tense shoulders. Cursed? In what way? Cursed in a way that makes them say that no business has ever really thrived here, sir. They all go. She's looking for the right word. Say nothing. Well, they run out of money and they have to stop doing business. This sounds rather serious. I should probably look into this. We can go into the bookstore and ask about the case, but I don't see much more to look in. The lieutenant makes a note. Yes, she chirps. Please also go look at our wares inside, the postcards and board games. What do you know about the other failed businesses? Nothing really, sir. Mom doesn't allow me to sneak around in the back rooms cellar. I don't really know what's there. How does this curse manifest itself? It does not manifest itself in any way. It does not exist. I liked it better when we were talking about whether it was appropriate to stand it out in the freezing weather. But Kim, the plasmic manifestations. No such thing. The lieutenant stands at your side, stern and... the girl looks back and forth between you two. Anything else you wanted to talk about, sir? Enough about the curse for now. What is this crime business? Crime fiction is about murders or burglaries or something like, or things like that, and the work of a policeman or a private detective who's trying to solve a crime and catch the criminals. Why would anyone want to read about crime? It's exciting to people, I guess. They get to imagine dangerous things. And it's kind of like a puzzle where you can guess who the criminal is or how the good guys are going to catch him. I'm a policeman myself, by the way. You don't look like much of a policeman. She examines you as if to find something police-like. Huh, well, what does a cop look like then? Didn't mean to offend, sir. Sorry, sir. It's just that you don't look like Dick Mullen. She points to a book cover on which you see a strapping Vespertine officer. He stands grimly over the body of a dead woman. Wow, look at the guy. Not your body that's important in police work anyway, it's your head, yes. No, I meant your mind. That's like the same thing. She squints her eyes trying to solve this puzzle. There's the mind and there's the mind. Catch my drift. Not really, sir. See, that's what reading those fake Mullen books gets you. Now you're dealing with a real cop. Yes, sir. She smiles mischievously. He's just a fictional character, I understand. He's no match for you. Maybe you can show me some real police work? The cover image of Dick Mullen seems to stare at you with harsh disapproval, like in the books. What is romance? It's a type of book where there's a rich lady and she has to choose between the good man and the bad man. She smiles at the thought, perhaps imagining herself in that situation. Or there could be a story about a poor lady getting a rich man. It's about a man and a lady business, sir. It's about man and lady business, sir. What about when everyone is poor? That's really not a proper romance story. That's more like everyday life. Sometimes you have to write about real life things. Not in romance books, sir. These are about nice and pretty people, and everyone is happy in the end. What about when both of the men are bad? These are not very common. You can't have a choice between bad and bad. Nobody wants to read a story like that. What if it's written really well? Well, maybe then it's fine. Maybe if the lady then decides not to pick either because she doesn't need a bad man. Yes, that would be interesting. What about a poor man getting a rich lady? It happens, but usually the guy gets rich in the process, or should actually be rich himself, but has lost his family property unjustly, like during the revolution or something. I see. I lost my property to the revolutionaries. Those are unhappy books. For most of the pages, people sad about what they have lost. But then it all turns out just fine in the end. Yeah, because the man gets the money. Yeah, awesome. Property rights. Fuck yeah. What does a book where the man and lady business doesn't work out at all? What about a book where the man and lady business doesn't work out at all? I haven't read many of those. Maybe you should ask Mom? Yeah, you think she has one about an excruciatingly painful breakup? I don't think it's a romance story if the main characters break up, though. She pauses, trying to figure out the appropriate answer. No, think about it. One where they plunge into a torrid spiral of pain and recrimination, only it's really long and drawn out. Scarred for life. Phantom Limb. No? I don't know. She looks at you with puzzlement. Doesn't ring a bell? Alright, I'll ask your mom. Yes, she nods, relieved. She knows books, definitely. What was that? An idea for an unfinished novel stuck somewhere in your forebrain? Later, when you get the chance, you should address these issues by getting drunk. That'll show them. That's enough romance for me. I had other questions. Who are these famous people? Oh, kings and queens and generals of old, or artists and writers, or musicians, those kind of people. There's usually something extraordinary about them. She scratches her cold reddened cheek, then continues. I think that's why people read them, to find the secrets of their fame. She seems like most people who read those books fail to get more famous from reading them. Reading those doesn't make the readers more famous, does it? But it does make the famous people more famous. She smiles gleefully. Fame is for vain people. I have better things to do. Okay, sir. She stamps her feet, waiting for what comes next. Close your account. Going to do something. Oh, she's cold, afraid. You fail to deduce anything substantial. He waits intently. Actually, I'm sorry, I can't deduce anything. A small disappointment rolls over her, but she promptly gets over it and says, "It's okay, sir. You disappointed a small child. Well done, champ." Okay, bye. See you around in that. Go in the bookstore. For some of this more minor text, I may not try to read it. Because this is just odd. Your hand reaches toward a book with a glossy cover art and a very muscular man from Doll in chains in front of a staircase. Laughing at it. Between the throne and the Doll man on fire cap. The wall, the shadow of the dress looked like a pair. Reads. Interesting. The display rack before you burned. Storekeep, tell me about the Muscle Man books. Oh, Man from Doll, a very popular series of adventure novels. They're awfully immoral. Why are they so popular? Blood and violence, scantily clad women, epic narratives, all those mystical things he encounters, they're bound to grab those with little imagination and nothing to do. Sounds good. Which one should I start with? What does it matter? They're all the same. She rolls her eyes and fiddles. However, the customer is always right, they say. If you're a novice of the series, I recommend Jim Norman, the man from all. It's supposed to be a good introduction to old sports magazines tucked away in it. Book collects the national.
Welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People. My name is Plaisance.
Plaisance.
Be welcome, and please take responsibility for the energy you bring into this space.
So are you the owner of this store?
I am the proudest owner of our little shop of culture.
Her voice, high-pitched, sounds familiar. You've talked to her before through the doorbell. Your daughter is the one standing outside the store, right? Annette, yes, my daughter. I hope she wasn't slacking off. Tell me, was she at her post doing her job like a proper girl? Yes, of course. Wonderful. Did you talk to her? Yes. Great. On a scale of 1 to 10, how compelled were you to buy books after talking with her? Her opinion of her daughter depends on how well she... And she's certainly very polite and helpful. My precious, her dedication brings joy to my heart. She's immensely filled with satisfaction with the answer. If you have children, I hope they turn out as great as my Annette. I'm here to dismantle the free market and abolish child labor. I'm here to dismantle the free market and abolish child labor. She rolls her eyes. You must be kidding. There's nothing like that happening. Depends. How much do you pay the kid? Good sir, what does a young child do with money anyway? No, I save it for her as a fund. She's securing her financial future out there. Oh, I guess I was mistaken. Indeed, her voice is decisive and sharp as a knife. Are we done with the jokes now? Yes, we've had quite enough fun here, right? Lieutenant taps his foot. The way you're handling her strikes me as... Mind your own business, sir. Her posture becomes very rigid. In our society, people don't get to tell each other how to raise none of yours or anyone. Okay, let's change. The woman before you scans the store, her shoulders rigid. Every now and then, she nudges her glasses. The girl outside mentioned that this place is cursed. Cursed? Who said that? Annette? She blinks. I will have a word with her. The place is not cursed. It has robustly magnetic energy. Good for commercial activity. My business is thriving, so... Doesn't feel like it's thriving. Feels ghostly. What if I want to buy a book? Then why are you talking to me? Everything is on the shelves to browse. Don't you feel compelled to buy anything? She fiddles with her pendant and then waves her bony fingers directly at you. See those shelves there? Go, be drawn. So, what types of books do you have? Everything is on the shelves. Take a look yourself. She nudges her glasses. The shelves compel you, don't. Alright, I'll take it. She smiles and nods, seemingly. Farewell for now, book peddler. These shelves are overburdened with books. crime fiction. Looks great. The excitement of police work, glossing over how or they completely ignore the hardships of year after year. Not a single mention of all the stress this officers. Detective fiction just doesn't tell the truth. Now, would you like a list of books found on the shelf? Sure thing. You see Dick Mullen on the job, get me Mullen, blah blah blah. Dick Mullen dies? Oh no, turns out he faked it to solve a case. Are there any more? Yes, there's also blah blah blah. After all this, you still haven't found the question matters. Who is Dick Mullen? Nice. Your quick eye notices a small caterpillar crawling across the spine of a book. The title reads Dick Mullen and Mistaken Identity. What do we have here? Mistaken Identity. Why does this speak to me? Could it be the motifs of unstable identities and shocking betrayals? No, it's gotta be something else. No, that's not it either. What? No, that's not what's happening. Yes, it is. The bulge in your pants is embarrassingly obvious. Relax, it's not that bad. Also, this means your blood flow is returning to... Good news, really. Something the matter, detective? Nope, all good here. Casually adjust your pants. The lieutenant nods. You think you detect the faintest trace of a grin on his face. Can't say. Storekeep, what's all this crime fiction? Oh, crime, robberies, murder, she lowers her voice, even sexual crime. We're fortunate to have Dick Mullen and his stories to sort that all out. You're a police officer, apparently. You should buy all of these. They really do teach a person how to be a proper... Point picture book brochure, very cool. It is a tome of fascist magic, rather candid. Oh my god. Shelf of biographies. Back on the shelf reads by. I really must insist you buy one of the books. You're interrupted by the shopkeep reading them for free. Do still browse though, but not too. I'm sorry, I did not mean to rush you. You are browsing. Storekeep, anything of note in this shelf? I would say the woman hums to herself. The greatest innocent. Yes, most certainly. It's an important educational tool, delving into the depths of his relation, innocentic power. Who or what is an innocent? A very influential historical figure, but surely I don't have to tell you that. Raise your hand as if casting aside thought. You're a law officer. Law officers have at least some education. The book is also very daring. The author aims to re-examine the universal understanding of the innocentic system, creating a fresh vantage point, a shift in the tired order of... So you recommend it? Certainly, it's prudent for a person to have at least an elementary understanding of history and society. Imagine the chaos we'd be in otherwise. You feel like you should get this one. Definitely. It's important, somehow. Something personal. I should come back for these books when I have some actual... Map wall. Ooh, a map? Several maps have been attached to a bulletin board hidden inside the alcove. They're held up by small pins. The board has come loose from one corner. The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches a map of Insulin, a map of Revachol, and a map of Martinet. The map. Large map displays are as you see. What else? In the northeast, dust mite. Squint first. Can you see cities on the island? This is so much. Lost little pearls of light, tiny fires in the dark. 850 million people live in thoughts, an oceanic world of culture and commerce torn apart by history. Look at the edges. Connections to other worlds. Words past the idea. You have little idea what they are. Distant stars, gods, but looking at them feel almost non-existent. Whatever they are, the Isolas are immeasurably large compared to you. Very, very. Perhaps they are gods. Gods of distance and outer dust. No, this is somewhere. This is somewhere to be. The tourist thing. Picture postcard with Bill. Active. The date in the upper right corner says 48. Still, it's detailed. Could be pretty useful for scouting ahead. You see. You see the jagged boxes of an industrial harbor, even the whirling in rags there. Storekeep, can I buy one of these maps? I'm sorry, officer, the map of Martinet is the only one. The other two are not for sale. Besides, you could scarcely afford. They're quite valuable, although they might not look it. The map of Martinet. Why is the one of Martinet so cheap? That old thing? It's an out-of-date map of forest location that never was nor from when some design studio people tried to spruce the place up 4 or 5 years ago. They renovated horse statues, set up the operated view. What happened then? They didn't get far for some reason. A shame the project never got going. Would be nice if someone fixed Martinet up. All these ruins are bad for business. We can. Yeah, we did it. You peek at the storekeep, waiting for her to be distracted. When she's not looking, you deftly rip the map off the board and pop it. You're now the proud owner of a map of Martinet. To be honest, it did not even cost that. I don't care. I need my 90 cents. The worn map features a patch for streets. Your finger moves through the various streets across. For a more detailed view of the world map, go to your journal map tab. Who are you? Gone. Who are you? Gone. Who are you? Gone. Who are you? What's the meaning of this tattoo? For you to discover. You've gotten as far as you will with that. Ah, here we go. Looks like we're here. Another boring book, just paranormal books. This is just mundane garbage. What's even... Find something. Whoa, I failed that check? What? Doorkeep, what books are these? Sir, please no browsing in that shelf. That wisdom is not for free. I can't have you end up like opening a police store next door and stealing my customers. What? Closed curtains. You see a set of tattered curtains blocking the way to another room. Strange cage-like trinket dangles from the...
Excuse me, officer. The back room is strictly for employees only.
Examine the strange cage-like trinket. See some kind of charm, an irregular polyhedron assembled from bones, sticks, and straws inside a distorted fish head. From the looks of this traditional Semini ward, this is a traditional Semini's ward meant to provide protection against ill luck, bad dreams, curses, and... Who are the Seminis? Inhabitants of Ile de Fantôme, the Semini's islands down. Aside from poking at it suspiciously, there's nothing else to do with the fish head charm at this time. The curtains remain shut before. Shopkeeper, what's behind the curtains? Nothing. Now please go back to browsing books. Fiddles with her pen. Don't you feel compelled to look at the books? The books are all you care about. She speaks almost as if she's trying to put a spell on you, urging you to buy more books. Oddly enough, the more she tries to draw you away from the curtains, the more alluring they become. Ignore the curtains for... Just as you're about to pull apart the curtains, the petrified voice of the shop owner cries out once more. Sir, don't touch that. I told you it's off limits for customers. Her hand is closed around her pendant, her fingers playing with the talisman. Parapsychologically speaking, we're done if you decide to open them. I won't be held responsible for the... It's too dangerous. He looks away, mumbling, why is everyone always messing with the curtains? Why can't they just buy books like normal people? This is about the curse? That's why you're afraid? No, it's just storeroom for the employees. I told you. Now please step away from the curtains. Almost begging you. But I sense this place calling for me. I must investigate beyond the threshold. You do? She grabs her pendant again, visibly shaken. My God, even more reasons not to mess with the curtains. Just step away, dear sir. Ma'am, this is different. I'm a police officer. I need to get in there. Why? It's not like anyone was killed there. Stops abruptly and her hand flies over her mouth, baffled by her own bluntness. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be so impolite. Just don't go in there. Can't allow that. You'll only make things worse and unleash the powers. I don't care. Alright, I'll think about it for a while. Thank you, the shopkeeper. Are you a coward? Think about the marvelous adventures waiting for us on the other side. There is something behind, something mysterious about the curtains. Be careful. You see a dimly lit room full of dusty furniture and trash. A doorway stands in the back, covered in dozens of scary little Simonese wards, your shadow looming over it like an elm. I warned you, you are unleashing forces beyond your understanding. Ghostly silhouettes of vaguely androgynous portrait of door. A heavy door with missing handle stands before, covered in dust. Only an echo. No one is there. Down the door. Only an echo. Ow, shoot. Whose moronic idea was it to just run through the door? Don't you know that things like that hurt? Oh god, try to breathe normally. This really wasn't the best idea, was it? Are you alright? The lieutenant steps closer and herself has. This looked pretty intense and painful, I must admit. What is going on there? An upset, high-pitched voice calls from the bookstore. Are you really trying to break down the back door? I warn you, don't tempt the spirits, officer. You can hear her take a frightened step backwards. Don't tempt the spirits or you'll damage the holy wards on the door. Merely looking at that masculinity.
You've hurt yourself now. I told you not to mess around back there. What are you even trying to accomplish, you fool?
I need to know what secrets lie beyond the door, behind the door. It's part of a spiritual quest. You're only making things worse. Stop it. Be compelled to go look at books. She feels with her. Go to them. Roundabout north to Cape Side Apartments. Dad reads broken window. Tibbs has windows. If you had a bag in your hand, perhaps you could collect these bottles and sell them. This coin-operated viewer is facing southwest. Its coin slot is full of fossilized bubblegum, rendering the machine permanently inaccessible. Look inside. Thick layer of graffito covers the lenses, spells out the word Nook. Backward. You know. Shift your focus to the background. Under the graffito and a seat. You know this to be the star of Perica. Symbol of Margaret. The church looks old and weather-worn. No lights in it. Poor little viewer at it. Metal feels cold and weathery. Vandalism. Probably some kids. The lieutenant. Try this one. This coin-operated slot viewer is facing south. The instruction manual says to insert 5. Things I've seen, it said. Yeah, I got a plastic bag. Plastic ass bag. Get that. Get these bottles. Yeah. Where did they go? Is it like in the bag? Oh. There's bottles everywhere. Yeah, we're like a little hobo cop. We're gonna make so much money collecting these. Coin operator gear has been banged up and operable.
Have you no shame? Whining about your back every time you bring out the measuring tape?
Honey, you're a man with a fork in a world of soup. Please, let's just try to enjoy the game, alright?
I am trying to, but you keep breaking my concentration. You're old, I can see that. We're both old. Now, stop grabbing your ass like it's a girl.
These manly men are playing balls. This is a ball game. Grab a ball and play it. Don't ask questions. Shoot first, ask questions later. Shouldn't I ask what game it is first? No, you got this. There's the ball. You're the game. Better observe them.
See?
First.
Your munching and complaining have ruined my concentration.
Ah, mon Dieu. The pain in my back is unbearable. I can't even say if it's in my back or hip anymore. Feels like it's in both.
He tries to measure the throw.
I hope you pass out from it, you goddamn jellyfish. Men like you are the reason this nation is sinking.
Standing tall and proud, he looks at his partner with disgust. Trying to throw something as close to a predetermined point as possible, measuring this must be an age-old game of pétanque. I don't know, can't do it. Shush, ignore them. They don't know what they're doing. They're old. You are letting down yourself and the team. Get in the damn game already. Wait, what team? Does it matter what team? Pick a team, any team, the blue team, and you're letting them down. Get in the game and throw the goddamn ball. Why are you being so mean to me? Eyes on the ball, dinky winky. Grab the ball and show them how it's done. Yeah, I did it! That's positive, right? It's green. Done like this. Yes, check success. You are immediately surprised by the ball's lack of weight. No matter, you'll make it work. God, this is right. You feel the familiar tremble of excitement and adrenaline that precedes every victory. Time has frozen. Feel the ball. The cold metal ball is surprisingly smooth against your neck. It has a pattern on it, probably a sponsored ball. Yours would only be covered with bumps of learning and scars of victory. Already your muscles are adjusting to the weight, the nervous system calibrating until you and the ball have merged into a single entity. The man ball is ready. Take in the surroundings. A chilly breeze ruffles your hair as you stand there, feet firmly planted. All sounds, smells, even the wind, everything fades until the only thing left is the union of man and ball. There is time for one last glance in. Who am I? An embodiment of pure motion, a fine-tuned locomotor running at maximum efficiency. Some would say you're a cop, but I guess we're beyond that now. The inertia can be contained no more than a bullet leaving a gun. Let it go. Be the bullet. throws it into the fucking harbor. Merde! The old soldier yells in outrage. Bordel de merde! What the hell is your problem? Not a weak right triceps, that's for sure. I don't care if you're a cop. You do not just ruin someone's game. It's so goddamn disrespectful. I'm sensing anger, and I don't understand why. You vandalized our game, son. He tries to calm himself. We can't play the tank with 5 boules. I thought it was shot put. Well, it damn well isn't. It's Petanque. The man snaps, raising his voice again. You ruined a Petanque game. We want our boule back. Take it easy, Renee. The jolly one tries to defuse the situation. This is just a misunderstanding, isn't it, officer? No harm done. Of course there's harm done, you orange slug. The heel of his cavalry boot slams the ground. You owe us a goddamn boule. Okay, I will try to fix this. Accept the task. Replace lost boule. Good, he nods. Mistakes are forgiven when men at least try to right their wrongs. I believe you will try. Now, why did you approach us? Do you know anything about the man hanged in the backyard of Whirling Rags? Unfortunately, I don't, he shrugs. Unlike most of the locals, I have no qualms about assisting law enforcement, but this affair has passed me by completely. And most of the locals? In Martinez, the union is the law, so can you really blame them? But you don't have a problem with cops? Cop is a pejorative term. I don't have a problem with policemen. On the contrary, I admire the effort to bring order to our street. So again, you don't know anything? If I knew, I would not be afraid to tell you. I simply don't. I am an old man, not a coward. The daily business of the riffraff is no longer concerned. This is a man with a lot of past, but little present, almost no future. Ah, that's a really weird person. Jesus. You seem to be playing in a crater. Yes, the man nods. The terrain here provides an interesting variety to a familiar. You know who created it? I do, he nods, straightening his back. Fire from heavy artillery. Okay, it's a crater left by artillery fire, but why? Why what? Why was heavy artillery used? Because that's what happens when communards hijack your country, execute your supreme leadership, and turn your capital into a slaughterhouse. You use heavy ordnance to clean up your... Wait, who are the communards again? Commies, communists, socialists, anarchists, call them what you like. They just chose the name to feel special. The carabiner frowns. Senseless sentimentality. Did you use artillery fire against them? Sadly, no. This was the foreigners who brought them to their knees. We fought valiantly, too valiantly. So valiantly we got licked. Yeah, it's squeezing a boule in his fist. Should have fought dirty, like they did with their suicide sex cult propaganda and mad anarchist women strapped to shrapnel bombs. We didn't, though, and we lacked calibre. Or caliber, right? God bless them, but the suzerain's cannons simply weren't big enough. I'm really bad with French, so I'm really doing my best here, but it's pretty poor. Why shell them here in Martinez? Because this place is the damn beachhead, he says, pointing to the bay. Had to soften the commies up for the beachhead? Yes, he nods, inspecting you with some disdain. The military coordinated amphibious landing to take back Revachol. Martinez was used as one of 3 footholds in Revachol during Operation Deathblow in 08. The other 2 are off in Stella Marie and the Delta, points to the northeast. Deathblow, sounds great. This here is Blood Ground, where Coalition boots first made landfall and cleaned those rabid dogs out. Most likely, he says, pointing down at the soil. We're playing petanque on their mangled corpses. Blood Ground, the other one shakes his head. You got old Renee going there. He isn't angry enough already. Hold on, the Coalition? He grunts, don't get me wrong, officer. I hate those foreign dogs. But the enemy of my enemy and all that. They're the lesser evil. Is that why everything is so bombed out? Damn right, son. They laid the fire of hell in this city before they stormed it. It worked, too. There's a strange gleam in his eyes. The rest of the city got cleaned up, but Martinet they kept as a monument. Dark shadow runs across his face. Now the Union Socialists are practically running them. Well, it's your own damn fault, the jolly man remarks. You, we, the Coalition, Revachol, whatever you want to blame, never finished the job. Officially, the party never surrendered. Of course they still hold it. You don't even begin to truly understand the players on the table, let alone the specific circumstances surrounding the... He stops mid-sentence and turns to you. What do you think? Thinking men have opinions on things. Present one. Commies just don't understand. I'm gonna say this fucking triggering first part. That's how it should be. Soft socialists paving the way for the hard working class to take over. Preposterous. Surely you don't mean it. He frowns. I'm just sorry it had to be them. After 8 years of fighting those commie hyenas, boiling cats for food, and drinking my piss in the mountains, I would have preferred if the Right Honorable King William returned to Revachol, or even if that damn clown Frizzle had risen from the grave and led us. Sadly, that was not the case. This royal failure weighs heavily. Instead, all that is just holy and beautiful in the world was wiped away, and now it's neon signs with toothpaste ads everywhere, foreign influence peddling garbage, and stupid music on the radio. He sighs. This is what the commies wanted. This was their plan all along. This is why they wanted to replace the rule of suzerain with... Who was this Frizzle? Damn Frizzle, he was the king we couldn't protect. The carabiners failed him, and the crown... The old veteran falls silent and massages his chest. He died in the hands of the hoi polloi in very public execution. You mean William? A true king in both blood and mind, led Revachol before Frizzle. He would have been better, but the damn commies drove him into exile. What exactly is a suzerain? Suzerain is the king. Has everyone forgotten already? He then slowly nods and says to himself, they've forgotten already. Soon they will forget everything. Him too, when he chooses anger over them. It's no use talking to you. You were still in Daddy's balls when it happened. When we took our last stand against the filth and rode the cavalry straight into gunfire. I saw the statue of Philippe III near the roundabout. Ah yes, King Philippe III on his steed, a reminder of what Revachol once was. Oh, absolutely. He smiles as if reliving a pleasant memory. At the mercy of a cocaine-snorting tyrant who emptied the treasury so he could sleep on a bed of gold? Cocaine? Cocainum? Sounds like our kind of king. And just imagine what kind of cocaine a king would have had. A superpower, feared and respected, a testament to what this country can be under the leadership of a true king, someone who knows how to rule. How should a king rule? decisively, without fear of offending the sensibilities of the frail and weak-minded among his subjects. This is something the insurgents never understood. Seems to me a leader should take care of his people before himself. A nation is only as strong as its leader. That's why it was such madness to try to... Don't get started on that again. What happened, happened. There is some weariness in his voice now. He's heard this rant many times before. The carabiner doesn't reply, but his entire being communicates unbreakable resolve. How about... What was that about cocaine? Oh, old Philip was a big fan of the purple nose candy the nobility loved so much. A cocaine connoisseur of sorts. He chuckles. His egocentricity is borderline legendary. You can't even take responsibility for yourself. How could you fathom the responsibility weighing on the shoulders of a ruler? He asks, obviously annoyed. That's why the Philippian kings used cocaine, for clarity of vision, to aid their work. Regnum cocainum, Revachal's finest years. He seems to grow taller, brimming with pride about the past. I'm satisfied with this explanation. Of course, the lieutenant remarks dryly, clarity of vision, awareness. Philippe III was even brought into this world with the help of cocaine. The court medic administered a dose to his mother when she was in labor, and it is well known that with the help of cocaine, only the purest, of course, he was able to connect with higher realms. Higher realms, of course, it all makes sense. What was that about higher realms? Sounds interesting. It's really not, he turns to Renee. Please do spare us the cocaine fairy tales. Yes, indeed, we are not here to investigate the drug trade of centuries past. Let's talk about something else. Thank you for your time. Hey, psst. Who, me? Yes, you. Word on the street is you're ready to start building communism again. How come there's word on the street? You keep saying things like, down with the bourgeoisie, eat the rich, sodomize the landowners, impale all the people who have more than 25 real in their pocket, literally murder all human beings regardless of their political beliefs, that kind of stuff. I've said some mildly left-wing things, but none of these. Oh yes, the mask of ambivalence. Don't deny it. You're about to rip it off and reveal the monstrous seven-eyed lamb of global communism that will devour and masticate mankind. Everyone can see that. So tell me, do you have any questions before we fire up the big communism builder? Or do we get right down to it? I like how these mind things work. Like, this is cool. It reminds me of... I feel like there was another game that did something like this that I played recently. Oh, I think it was kind of like Outer Worlds with the flaw system, but that was not as cool as it could have been. Wait, first, what's this communism even about? Failure. It's about failure. Failure? Yes, abject failure. Total irreversible defeat on all fronts. Absolutely vanquished, beaten, curb-stomped, and pissed on. Until you came along. You will reverse the fortune of the workers of the world. You alone, against every living thing, against every human alive. 800 trillion real in the hands of an impossibly well-organized ruling class, powering city blocks of bankmen who have the ears of prime ministers, million-headed armies of nations, and the love of your own mother. You against the atom, the charm and the spin, where the whole world failed, matter failed to bend to human will failed to get out of bed, to tie its laces. You alone, single-handedly, will rebuild the dreams of the working class. You are the last communist. Now get to work, comrade. Roll up your sleeves and start building communism. Top 10. Oh yeah! Get the firing squads and the animal wagons ready. Wait, firing squads? You didn't say anything about those. Too late. Back out now. You can't make an omelet without breaking a few million eggs. Roll up your sleeves further and breathe in the pristine air. Finish thought. What was this thought called? Mazovian socioeconomics. -2 visual calculus. People think communism was some crazy idea that had its comeuppance 40 years ago. A fever that shook the world, never to return again. They were right, until he woke up today. A spiritual corpse, responsive only to the call of Commodore Red, prostitutes, and Krasmazov. For him, communism is still a thing. He will single-handedly raise the commune of O2 from the oceanic trench where it has been resting, covered in ghosts and seaweed. He is the big communism builder. Come, witness his attempt to rebuild communism in the year 51. What the fuck? I don't understand, like, is this purely like a, Sure, whatever. Let's just make it happen. Are these, like, connected?
Yes.
Got a bullet holes on. Got a bullet hole stir something we make it get the lieutenant's surname. Closer first. Painting marks are just too degraded to draw any from. Look, bullet holes. What? Looks around. Point to the chips in the wall. Someone has been shot. We're cops. We should solve it. There? He looks at the wall. Those are old. What do you mean old? Bullets were fired during the revolution over half a century ago. They do not warrant investigation. Okay, what can you tell me about the revolution? Not much. I don't have a fresh perspective on it. Shall we go? Cool. Enormous bulls worthy of a real man. I can't pick them up and give them to the old guys. Hormorant? What is this? The belly of this boat shines like it was recently painted. Healing item gained. Elysium. Yeah, Kuno, fuck him up. I was talking to her on this side of the wall.
Are you trying to sneak up on me? Come to slit my throat in my sleep? Pigs come to take me out? Trying to snuff me out?
No, why would you even say that? And why are you sneaking up on me like that? It's not a good idea to scare me, pig. Not a good idea at all. Garden hose. This won't be of use. Full of snow. Chairs and tables. Another splattering of bullet holes. Orange bum hat? Yeah. Hobo cup. A closed door, but look at it suspicious. These barrels are half full of rain. Balcony with a view to the yard, and that smoker up there could be a witness. Talk to him. Smoker on the balcony. You see a young man on the balcony and a cigarette. His eyes have been following you. Oh.
Not looking for any trouble, officer.
Pause it real quick. I'm gonna get a drink. Why are you whispering? It sounds like you're already in trouble.
There's no trouble. I'm just speaking in a lowered voice.
It's pretty funny to hear this. The one thing I do know about this game is that there are like they had like guest voices for some of these characters, and they have the guys from Chapo Trap House. So like the Union or not Union, the scab outside the harbor wall that we talked to yesterday in the first part video. That was Felix Biederman, and this is I can tell that this is Virgil, Texas, voicing this guy. Like weird to hear his voice.
I don't want to be seen talking to the gendarmerie, if that's okay. I just want to finish my cigarette.
Actually, the gendarmerie really needs to talk to you.
Is it really that important?
Like a nervous cat, he keeps stealing looks at the neighboring.
All right, but make it quick. Once I finish this cigarette, I have to run.
Looks like you've got a good view of the Whirling's backyard. Can you tell me anything about the hanging? I'd even go so far as to say the view is a little too good. Gendarme. Do you have an estimate of when the body will be taken away? We'll remove the body as soon as possible. Now tell us, where were you last Sunday? Oh, he waves lazily with his cigarette. You already asked me that. You? No, not you too. He gestures idly. Some more muscular type. The lieutenant takes out his little blue notebook and writes something down. And when did you speak to this more muscular gentleman? Last week? I don't know. He looks around the courtyard again. Old patio chairs and dead houseplants litter this. You didn't answer the question. What were you doing last Sunday? He sighs. I had a friend over. What kind of friend? It was my Sunday. Sunday friend? What's your friend's real name? Did he see something? He didn't reply. He doesn't reply, gesturing no with his cigarette. In the neighboring windows, you can paint reflections of that, all from different angles. Can you tell me your name? My name? My name is Martine Martinet. Martine Martinet? Good local name. Go with that. Oh. Alright, we'll talk later. No, we won't. Takes one last drag of his cigarette before stubbing it out on the balcony. Now, if you'll excuse me, I really need to get going. Yes. This isn't the time or this place or time for questions. Watching from. Hey, listen. Lower your voice. I'm just trying to make day again. We meet somewhere else. For a moment, the man on the balcony seems almost vulnerable. Something moves in the depths of feline passion. When he speaks again, his voice is soft and I'm sorry, but I really don't have the information. The flick of his wrist, he said. But hold on, what's that? For a split second, his hand lingered, so gesturing towards a stone place right next to the front door. It's a sign. Good luck with the investigation. Walks away. Oh, I get it. He's gone. The lieutenant puts away his notebook and you run after him. See where he went. No point in running. Tenements like this often have multiple exits. If he doesn't want to talk to it, he'll know how to hide himself. So we just give up? He could be a witness, him or his Sunday friend. Either way, we need to. He did leave us a sign. Did you see that? He wanted to draw our attention to that stone right over there. Rock on a foggy patch of grass. If we find a way inside the building, we can ask around for an apartment. Great, let's do that. A stone like any other lying in a whirl of sleet, and maybe there's something under it. This must be for the front door. Pity it doesn't have the apartment number on it. The building has many apartments in anyway. How are we gonna find the right one? We'll just have to go in and see. Eviction notices. There's that balcony. Check that. Breaker box, cigarette butts, and all. Trying to get all these junk. Just a door, nothing here for you, right? Someone's growing rosemary. 28, a door to be remembered. The apartment 29. Complete silence, whoever lives. Door to apartment 30. Voices from within singing along. That from this side. Box is filled with cleaning chemicals. Logic. An old shoe rack, boots, sneakers, and all. Apartment 12, a loud rumblings. I like that it doesn't pass time when you're not in dialogue, so I don't have to like rush for something. These shower curtains are covered in some sort of slime. I don't really know how the flashlight works yet, so I'll have to see. Someone has drawn a 5-pointed star on the wall. This isn't just a 5-pointed star, it's an inverted white pentagram cradled in a wreath of antler, the iconography of communism. Inspect the symbol closer. Star and antlers was developed in the 6th decade of the last century, adopted by Makhov communards during the. Even today, half a century after, Star and antlers retains the ability to evoke hope and disappointment here in. Why is the star upside down? Symbolize the toppling of the old order. Also, some social democrats were already using. What's the deal with the antlers? The wreath of antlers represents a natural crown. It was about building a society that could exist in accord with the natural world, and at the same time above it, by white, because white is the color of peace. What does it evoke in me? Oh. Gone. Gone is the glory of hope. Only the scribblings of impoverished students from Pretty Hall. Door has been closed with a padlock. Chalk drawn number. On the board says 11. Examine the solid lump of metal, but the shackle is deeply corroded. A solid pair of chain cutters would work. Without those cutters, won't get far otherwise. Why? You hear someone walking around inside room. Walking stops abruptly, but feel tension. Time the steps come closer. Who is this? Demands a female. This is the police. Open up. Do I have to open the door? You hear a clacking of heels again. The other side walks right up to the. Her tone is now getting. Do you have a warrant? I'm not obligated to open the door if you don't have a warrant. Let's go. The lieutenant says we don't have a reason to get inside that apartment. It's generally easier to do things if you have literally any. Door number 9 is locked. Where are all these items that like? I don't understand where all the other stuff, bottles. Apartment number 8. Boxes. Fido says, firing squad for the...
Give me a moment.
An elderly woman is leaning on her broom, her knuckles white as bone. Seems to be having difficulty.
The cold never does any good for my bronchitis.
She sneezes into a dirty. Are you alright? Should I call a
I'm
doctor?
fine. Don't you worry about me.
She starts coughing, red spots appear. You're still worried. It's very worried.
Now, what you want from me, policeman?
She's the cleaning lady. She knows the floor plan. I wish I'd gotten that guy's name. Oh, I did, didn't I? Who are you? I'm no one, just an old woman who cleans these hallways. You live here? If you can call it living. She spits on the floor before wiping it off with a broom. I have a little room upstairs right next to the old room. It's barely bigger than a closet, but I don't complain, no. She juts out her chin, eyes shining. I have my bed and my aching bones to keep me company, and that's all I need. I'm looking for Martin Martinet. Cleaning lady smiles a gap-toothed smile, and when she hears you mention the name. Oh, you'll find plenty of Martins here, don't you worry. No, I don't. You don't understand. I'm looking for a real person named Martin Martinet. He told me he's Martin Martinet. P-brain. Someone played a trick on you. Martin Martinet is a name for anyone from Martinet. Like Jim Jamrock or Raoul Revachol. Right. Oops, you really didn't get the joke there. I thought it was obvious. He stops before he finishes. Anyway, officer, we don't have the witness's name. How about a young male in his mid-20s, dark hair, skinny build, a smoker on the balcony where he lives? Yes, I know who you mean. Brawny boy who's always smoking like the devil, right? He looks at the other end of the hallway. Somewhere in the building, a child starts crying. You hear a radio talk show. What's he in trouble for? No trouble. I just want to talk to him. You know where he lives? Talk. The cleaning lady starts laughing, but it turns into a violent coughing spasm. She squeezes her broom, trying to catch her breath. He lives upstairs in room number 28. Go to the balcony. It's one of those doors up there. Points east. He's usually home in the evening. Thank you. He turns. We should go back and check out his apartment on the balcony. See if he's home. I have a few questions about those apartments. Ask away, policeman. Is one of the residents on vacation? Their mailbox is overflowing. People come and go. I don't keep an eye on everyone. They probably just moved or died, hopefully somewhere else. Who lives in apartment number 10? No one lives there. It's been empty for months. But I talked to someone through the door. Impossible, the cleaning lady says, shaking her head. I would know if someone had moved in there. Pauses, eyeing the hall. Maybe it's those counterculture people again? Breaking into our house like it's a public space? You're a policeman. Be good and take a look, will you? Sure, I'll go see what I can find. Great, young people, they're worse than rats, you know. Always littering the hallways with trinkets and a can. Who lives behind the padlocked door? Oh, that one is a scientist, a future scholar. Suddenly the old lady's face is... I think he studies astrology at the community college. Education's good. I always tell them to study. Astrology? Nothing to do with all the stars around his door. He asked me to leave his drawings up on the wall. Are you sure you don't mean astronomy? That's what I said, astrology. Lieutenant shakes his head as though to say, come on, people. Try to keep up any standards here. It's not about stars. It's... forget it. That's all, thanks. Thanks, I'm off. Note reads, foreclosed by Martin. Okay. so much recyclable material, I'm gonna make a fortune. Hey, up here, piggo.
The streets will flow red once more. A great torrent rushing down Rue d'Esperance. You wait and see.
The girl stares at the sailboat by the pier.
The streets will not flow red with anything. Who are you?
I'm Cindy the fucking Skull. What else do you want to know? Date of birth? Blood type? The last time I was tested for Hep C?
Hep, yeah, when were you last tested?
Had a battery of tests just last week. I'm practically a patchwork of interesting critters, kinda like a man o' war.
Despite the attitude, she puts the brush aside. Smell. That smell coming from her paint bucket, it's not paint, it's heavy fuel oil. Is that heavy fuel oil? He studies the contents of Cindy's bucket. Red dyed, heavy fuel oil into exclusive use in government vehicles. What do you think I was using? Aqua sucked it out of a cop's fuel tank myself back in January. She really did it. She's proud of it too. Fumes are bad for you, okay? Something to think about next time you're driving around in your pretty little piggy carriage. What are you doing to the wall? Can't you tell I'm painting a beautiful mural, an arrow graffito visible from low orbit? Studies the wall, suddenly pensive. I haven't really started it yet. I'm waiting for the right words. So you don't know what to write? Have you ever tried your hand at graffito? When faced with a blank wall, most people write unimaginative stuff like pigs go home and Mona was here. We rarely see pigs around here though. Just union cads. My name's not Mona. He wants it to be something true. Total. Why are you so committed to defacing the building? The place is severely lacking in havoc. Not even the occasional trash can fire to. Not even the occasional trash can fire to break. Can fire to break up the tedium. I thought I'd mix it up, you know, summon the forces of crime and social chaos with a wall-sized invitation. I have an opinion on this. Want to hear it? Yeah? I don't fucking care. I love public art. Don't mind us. Keep doing what you're doing. Thanks. I'm sure the inspiration will come to me now that I have an official RCM stamp of approval. You've lessened her desire to deface the building. Oh, interesting. Reverse psychology, see? I'm protecting this building. Let's see. Do you know anything about the recent murder? She wrinkles her nose. I ain't no snitch, Pigstein. Go forth and forage in someone else's shit. No shortage of squealers in these parts. Actually, there is a shortage of people who talk to us in normal, calm, informative manner. We weren't put on this earth to make your life pleasant, fucko. You keep looking off to the side. What are you looking at? She nods disdainfully toward the woman performing maintenance on the boat dock next to the pier. Hatred, disgust, it's difficult to tell which of the two is more present in her girlish feature. The woman on the boat does not notice her staring. She hisses. That Ozone whore, someone's got to keep an eye on her. Ozone is an archipelago 2 days travel away from Revachol. its moneyed residents. Used to posh restaurants and upscale boutiques rarely have reached Martinet. Who is she? Probably the Wild Pines rep. We should talk to her. He nods in her direction. She's a professional negotiator. I have a feeling she will be very cooperative while telling us. You should take the lead, ask her unexpected questions, do your thing. Don't be afraid to get a bit wacky. Throwing her off is our best bet. Good idea, piggies. Run along now. Fuck her shit up good. Pound that boat while you're at it. I'd like to watch her swim back to Ozone. Catch you later, Sydney. Cindy. Watch your back, Ungulate. Got eyes on you. Better keep it. Clock is rusty. Above, tarps flap in the wind. Cotton dust. What is this? Whoa. Someone's been sleeping here recently. Enough coal to last for several winters. Electric. Interfacing. The pockets of these new jeans are perfect for sticking your hand into. Makes you look cool, calm, and collected. As your hand enters the pocket, your fingers brush against something soft yet crinkly. Take the item out. Hey, it's a chewing gum wrapper. It reminds you of the fruity juice of apricots. You should inspect it closer if you wrapper's texture. By the way, the raw materials were most likely exported from Sige, the apricot processed by Sir Chef into apricot flavored chewing gum loved by kids today and yesterday. Thought it was for encyclopedia. The crinkled chewing gum wrapper. The worn label reads "Tutti Frutti." It smells faintly of apricots. I barely know. You feel compelled to point out that there's nothing fruity about cinnamon. It's a spice derived from tree bark. Cinnamon's not a fruit. Can a used wrapper shrug? It seems like that's what the wrapper is doing somehow. This is not about flowers or bark. What is this about? Why are you looking at this wrapper? Why do I even care about this? Good question. There is no answer or secret phrase written on the inside of the wrapper, yet you're drawn to it. Drawn by regret. Stop before you hurt yourself with the Tutti Frutti wrapper. Throw it away, please. I'll hang on to it just in case. You carefully fold the wrapper into a square before putting it back into your pocket. Lovingly bite the string. I don't get it, man. Game is insane. This apartment is supposed to be empty. Did you break in here? Excuse me? Of course not. You have plenty of reasons. Then open the door so I can verify your identity. Oh, come on. There's a pause before you hear the door being unlocked. That was smart. And it said, nodding toward the unlocked door. Blister pack of medicine leaks out of the box. Take it. Like a fine mattress. +1 to indirect modes of taxation. Which is that? The luxury of fine things. Just look at those black monk straps. After spending an entire day hustling, who's to say that you didn't deserve ridiculously tired? You're right, beautiful things do make people happy. Beautiful things give you a rush. It's power, crafting your style, draping your flesh in silk and leather, deciding how to present yourself to the world. Remember, when they come to take it away from you, you worked for those shoes. Whether you like it or not, wearing these shoes has made you more liberal. Ultra liberal. What the fuck? Ah, there is a quick save. I just randomly hit F5. Like, does this game have a quick save? They don't even say it anywhere. Wow. Real estate agent. Satisfied? My name is Marielle Carpentier, and I'm an agent with the Martinet Realty Associates. I'm not breaking in. I have every right to be easy. Her voice is really cheerful, despite how obviously hating you. Do you want to see my ID as well? You can't legally ask for it, but why not? Want to see my residence permit too? She fumbles through her purse, fishing out a light paper-clad passport. Inspect the passport. It feels flimsy in hand with the words Reva Shaw Special Administrator written under a nondescript municipal logo. There's a picture of her with shorter hair inside, her personal details. Nice haircut, hands back. Thank you. She slips the passport back in her purse. Do you have any questions? I need to be back in Midtown in an hour. What are you doing here? He sighs and looks around. I need to get it ready for the next lease, but as you can see, the previous tenant completely trashed the place. Sounds like they knew how to have a good time. It was some kind of a moribund old man who used to be a business owner. You'd think they'd make rent. Stops hesitant. But that was months ago. Anyway, was there anything you wanted, or is that it? I'm in a hurry. Who lived in the foreclosed apartment down the hall? Oh, that's another huge mess. The former tenant owes us 3 months of free. We closed the apartment and planned on auctioning off the valuables. And again, I have no idea how stupid mistakes like this can even happen. But when he came to close the door, it didn't close the neighboring. There's a hole in the wall. A hole in the wall. Can you believe it? She spreads her hands. And then the tenant ran off with his stuff. He's gone. The money's gone. Just like that. She snaps her finger. Some must have been puny. Oh, it irks her. The incompetent. My money has also disappeared, I think. Well, it does not disappear from my hands. No, I don't let it. It couldn't have been that much money. These apartments look pretty shabby. These apartments are perfectly fine. They have gorgeous architecture, million-real view of the bay, good ventilation, neighbors, life, spark, and they're affordable. I'll tell you, Martinet has a future. In a few years, it's going to blossom with artists and creatives and those radio computer wizards. So wait, what happened with the wall? Don't ask me what happened with the wall. I have no idea how we're going to find the time or the resources to fix it. Both apartments are now unrentable. Both. She's still shaking her head. Manicured hands now crossed over the chest. That's all, thank you. Of course. She replies with a smile, but her eyes remain glazed over. She's been waiting for you. What does that mean for the task?
Give me a moment.
Anyway, he still seems breathing. I didn't find any counterculture people in apartment 10. It was just agents setting up the... I see. She takes out her handkerchief and wipes her nose. I hope some good people. Place neat. There will be nothing but squalor unless we start killing real estate agents. No one is coming. There will be nothing but squalor unless we start killing real estate agents. We won't be killing anyone, and you shouldn't say things like that. You're a police officer. There's been enough killing. I've seen it. He coughs. She's seen it and known to those who have killed. Thanks, I'm off. Alright, y'all. I think I'm going to call it here, though. This has been part 2 of Disco Elysium. This has been pretty sweet. We'll explore more of this apartment and the surrounding area the next time I sit down to play this game. But, you know, thanks for joining me. I'm gonna pop a save here real quick. A new one. We're gonna call it here. Till the next one. Peace.